everybody, this is the Assimilator, and this is my first ever YouTube channel. Yay! So, a couple weeks ago, I was talking to a few of my friends who have their own channels, and link in the description down below. You can check them out. They're pretty cool. So, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, you have a YouTube channel? That sounds fun. I'm gonna do that too. And then I never did. So, yeah, that's how that conversation kind of went. But a couple weeks ago, I was talking to one of my friends, and she is also a simmer. She plays on The Sims 3 a lot. And I told her that I love building. Like, whenever I play The Sims, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or 4, I build. That's how I pass the time. So she said, or suggested, that I try doing a sim channel, and here it is. So she also helped me with my first video and suggested that I make her a Victorian manor. And let me just say, I don't usually build these kinds of houses because they're so complex, and like if you look at them in real life, you can't get the kind of detail that you really want within a Sims game. It's not possible, which kind of sucks, but you make do, and which is what I did. I made do, and I hope it turned out okay. I don't know if I'll ever build another Victorian manor again, because I literally so many times just about tore my hair out. This was so frustrating, but in the end, I felt like so accomplished that I was able to do this, and it looked amazing to me. It looks amazing, so, I guess I'll see what you guys think. So, how I build in The Sims 4, like you can see here, I tend to build from, like, the front back and the outside in. So, what I mean by that is, curb appeal means a lot to me. So, I went through and I put all these posts in, and right here I'm making sure that the front door works with those posts next to it. But I put all these posts in, I put the trim, and I really wanted to make sure that the front was very detailed. Because in a lot of Victorian houses, like if you Google just Victorian houses, the fronts are always very detailed, and I try to emulate it as much as possible. But, so yeah, I start from the front back, and later in the video, you'll see that the back isn't nearly as detailed, in the sense that, like, it has more straighter walls than anything, whereas the front, has all these little nooks and crannies in it. But, and then I work from the outside in, so I build the complete outside of the house first, and then I work on the layout, which can kind of bite me in the butt a little bit, because just because it looks good from the outside does not mean that a layout is going to work perfectly on the inside, especially with with all these nooks and crannies that Victorian houses usually have. Like as I was building this part right here, I have no idea. I just assumed that wasn't going to be a functioning part of the house. But in reality, it would be. It would be like a little thing that you could go to. But in order to make the roofs work, I ended up connecting it to the larger section of the house upstairs. So it kind of works, but eventually I made that space the way that I designed the house and decorated the house later. It's not really a usable space anyway, so it doesn't matter at all. But so I really wanted to play with the roofs a lot in this house, and I building all these separate pieces on top and layering all these roof pieces, and it was just a nightmare. I don't remember which, because it's been so long. I've been playing Sims 4, basically. I switched over to Sims 4 as soon as it came out. And I think it was Sims 3 that had the, like, octagonal roofs and everything. And why don't we have those? Why? Sim guru people, if you're watching this, which is awesome, number one, if you're watching this, but number two, why? Please tell me. Comment in the description below. Please tell me why we don't have them yet. Hopefully they'll come in with a free update. That would be awesome, because I don't have much money and I can't keep buying expansion packs, no matter how tantalizing they are. And they look like, I really want Dine Out. I want Dine Out so bad, but I don't have the money. So, poo. I would love to build a restaurant. But yeah, so if I had those octagonal roofs or even curved roofs, I mean, we have curved floors now, and you can even do a curved fence. I mean, I'm not a technical person. For all I know, it's incredibly difficult to program or code or whatever you have to do to get that in there to make a wall curve instead of a fence and make a roof curve. Like, but because I'm just a person, like, to me, it's like, that shouldn't be hard, right? But, you know, I'll take what I can get because I love this game. So, here I am with the roof. I'm just trying to really fine-tune it and make it look as natural as possible, like something that you would actually see if you were to go and see a Victorian manor. And now you can see in the back what I mean about, it's more about straight pieces. I did a few little diagonal pieces in the back just to make sure that it wasn't just a blank slate back there, but, you know, it's not too bad. But here I am going around putting a bunch of trim on the roofs. I love these dark windows, like the dark wood windows. I think it just works out perfectly, especially for a Victorian manor. You know, nowadays, more modern houses, like even looking over at my window right now, it's white. Not very many windows are a dark natural wood anymore. So I was really happy, and I forget which expansion this came with, and I want to say it was Get to Work, the one that came, because it had like home businesses, and I think, if I remember correctly, a lot of those came from that. But yeah, here I am going around putting some more of the posts in, like all the little posts on the fence and on the corners of the walls, just to detail the building a little bit more, because they are incredibly detailed. So I chose the fancier one with the white and green, which I wasn't sure at first, because at this point I wasn't entirely sure what color I was going to have this house. And it was about here when I first picked that light green one. I was like, it needs to be green. It needs to be green. But finally I found this one that, like, it's like a dark green gray. Like, it's not like a deep green. So it worked out to me. It looks great to me. And is that piece? Okay, good. I got that. I was worried that I left something unpainted. That would have been horrible. But, yeah, this house was just a lot of fun to build, like, even as frustrating as it was to build. And I have a story, but I'll save it for later when we get to that point in the video. But it was just, it was refreshing. I usually build, like, modern or contemporary, and not that there's anything wrong with that. And the thing is, I think part of the reason why I usually build those types of houses is because I think the Sims 4 decorations are kind of a little more suited for that. And here I am picking out, like, the foundation color, and I almost went for that really dark wood, but I was like, there's so many dark tones, especially since I made the roof that dark, really dark color. I felt like it needed a little bit of a balance. I love, like, playing with colors and everything in The Sims, so yeah, just switching out that front door made it a little bit fancier. Adding a door up here. I believe that will eventually come off the master suite, that little balcony out in the back. And this balcony up in the front that's on the right, you can't actually get onto that. Like, I didn't put a door onto that, but that's a simple change. If you download the house, which you should, that would be awesome if you did. But if you do download the house, it's a simple change of probably just changing out one of those windows with, like, large French doors or something in that same color. That would work really well. Working on the landscaping now. And now, here's the story. with this. So I did all of this landscaping, and I got super, super detailed because when my friend wanted me to build this house for her, she's currently writing a book, and I assumed that she wanted something that would be kind of like creatively inducive to her book, which is in a like really old town. It has a lot of Victorian houses and stuff like that. So I wanted this house to look like it backed up into like a forest. And if I had that, I can't remember the name, the outdoor retreat pack. If I had that, I probably would have built this in a lot there rather than where I did. But, I don't, so I had to build it here. But, so I created this kind of foresty feel, especially backing up into that lake that you see right there and putting a little, like, footpath trail, like, people have walked there repeatedly. But, so I did all this really detailed stuff, and I put all this grass and flowers, and gotta turn on move objects, because it looks so much better if you can do it this way. And after I finished, probably about an hour, I think, of landscaping and getting this all to look the way that I wanted it, I looked down at my phone and noticed that my phone was dying. I had like maybe 12% battery, so I was like, oh no, I better plug in my phone. And I always charge my phone just on the computer rather than a wall. And so I plugged in my phone and caused my Sims game to crash. And stupid me, I hadn't saved since I had started the landscaping. Yeah. So, when you download this house, and if you see things aren't quite the same in the landscaping as they are in this video, that's why. But the whole thing is pretty much the same. I took the recording that I had made of this, and put it on my tablet and watched it back on my tablet as I went back through and redid the landscaping. So, like, the major trees and shrubs and everything are the same. And I actually, you can't see it now, but you'll see it in the pictures, the screenshots in the end. But I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but I added rocks. It's just silly, which I don't know why I didn't think of this before. But yeah, I added rocks. So a few things are different, but it's not that big of a change, really. But I've learned my lesson, and actually later in the video, you'll see me pause multiple times to save because because this is such an extensive build. I mean, between the landscaping and the building, I mean, we're already nearly 15 minutes in, and we haven't even gone inside yet. We're not even done with the landscaping. Like, this is insane. So I started saving every few minutes because I got so paranoid that it was going to crash again for whatever reason. So yeah. So here I am. I'm lining the fence, tried to make the front yard look a bit more well taken care of because you like that curb appeal, especially if I were to own a manor like this, a Victorian manor like this nowadays, I would want people to drive by and be like, oh, I want that house. I would hate to take care of all this. Like, dear, ugh. No, I would never take care of all this. But I would love people to think that it's pretty. So, yeah, there you go. But, so now I'm going through with terrain painting, and I love terrain painting. Gosh, it's been so long since I've played Sims 1 and even Sims 2. But I hope that terrain painting has been around the entire time. And it really just makes a house more natural looking. It gives that little finite detail to your builds that just make it look more lived in. It looks more, it just looks more real. And I don't think I have made a single house ever without using terrain paint. So, yeah. But I'm so excited to get to share this one, this first house with you. Like, I'm excited that I chose this to be my first video to show you guys. It was so frustrating, but it was like really rewarding in the end. Now I'm going around adding outdoor lights to make it look good at night. It's an aesthetic thing, and honestly, if I play like just a family, I usually delete all the outside lights unless there's like an area outside that's meant for like eating and entertaining. But because it racks up your bill so much, and I don't even want to imagine what the bills would be like for this house. The price of it alone, I don't even know off the top of my head. I didn't check it, but it's got to be insane, because I mean, I wasn't stingy at all. I used the best stuff. I used whatever looked good, and I might challenge myself in one of my next videos to make a starter home, because I mean, you would think that those are easy enough, but they're not. Like, because especially when I'm used to building things like this, it's like I get carried away, and then I finish with the outside, and I realize, oh, I only have $1,000 left. Well, gotta go delete some things. So, yeah. Finally, we're on the inside of the house. I really wanted to make this. I really wish we could do diagonal stairs, and because then I would have done this, like, cool, grand entrance where, like, you walk in and there's a diagonal stair to your right and to your left, and they, like, come up, and then there would be, like, a balcony, so it would be, like, an open foyer, but, can't do it. Can't do it, I guess. But, so I'm laying out the entire house. That room right there, that small room on the right, is going to be a bathroom, and then the small room on the left is going to be like a miniature study. There we go. I finally connected those two rooms upstairs, because I was like, this is silly to have one space between. Just silly. Just silly. And actually, fixing the roof wasn't that big a deal. Added a little bit more detail up there, which is fine. And yeah, finally have that nice big room. Going upstairs, making sure that, the stair placement is probably one of the worst things to have to, like, figure out and work around. Maybe one of these days I'll build a house from the inside out. So, so that I don't have to struggle so hard with layouts. But, yeah. Adding some railings in there to, because in real life that would need railings, otherwise you'd die pretty hard. Using those really cheap lights just to light up the area so I could see what I'm doing. I don't think I've ever actually used those lights in a build. Going around, putting the doors in. Now that room on the left up there was the master bedroom, which is pretty interesting. But let's see. Now that I think about it, I really wish I would have made that balcony accessible, like actually accessible. But see, now this is the fun part, is decorating. It's like equally fun and frustrating. Because there's just, with the house of this size, there's not enough variation, in my opinion. Then again, I only have get to work. Really? Is that all I have, is get to work? Oh, that's sad. But, yeah, there's not enough variation in, decorations to really make houses like this as extravagant as you would want. So I put a large dining room table because I figure somebody who would own this house probably likes to entertain a lot. Changed up the chairs because I think it's actually kind of nice when you have like the 2 armchairs on each end, and then the other chairs are a little bit different. Putting on, now the new lighting that they added in the recent update, it makes those curtains look blue, but they're not. They are the beige ones. And even in the screenshots, they look blue. Which is weird. And I double checked them, and I'm like, I didn't put blue down. That's too monotonous with the blue wallpaper that I have on the walls. Which, by the way, I love all the wallpapers in this house because they are, like, so, in my opinion, they're so Victorian. Like, I just Googling all these little images of Victorian houses to get inspiration and ideas and everything. And they all have these real graceful, flowery wallpapers that in today's day and age is like gaudy, but but it's still gorgeous. So yeah, I did that throughout the entire house. Yeah, and I really just wanted to create this space that was like cluttered, but not. Now, the kitchen, I'm not 100% happy with. But I was trying to pick something that is older looking and not, this sounds horrible, and I hope my grandmother never watches this video, but I try to think of my grandmother's house a lot. Or what I think of when I think of my grandmother's house. When I was building this, and it just, and this is what I came up with. I'm so sorry, Grandma. I love you. But, so, of course, I had to do the old-timey stove and refrigerator. Picked this really vintage-looking linoleum. And the cabinets, I really wanted it to just be, and I'm going to say this repeatedly, but I really wanted it to be natural. And with a build like this, like, I feel like you have to try to emulate as much as possible. And actually, picking a range hood was pretty difficult for me. Like, because I felt like I really liked the look of that one that's on there now, but it wasn't big enough, in my opinion. And it was just like, you know what, never mind. I just gave up. So, put a little breakfast nook over here, and something that you would have to eat. Everybody's getting ready at different times during the day, and so you kind of you get your breakfast ready. People come down and eat when they can, and when you have those big fancy dinner parties, you can go and eat in the fancy dining room. But here's just where you grab your cereal, grab your eggs, whatever you're eating, and eat there. Now, this is the living room on the right, so you enter the house into the foyer, and living room's on the right, and dining room's on the left. But this little entrance, I really tried to play up with colors, different colors and stuff like that. And I chose to do the green. And again, that thing looks blue. I would never put blue and green together like that, but no, it's the beige curtain, the little curtain there on the wall. It's the beige one, I promise. And I was gonna do the green couch there, and I love the green chairs. I keep the green chairs, but there's no couch that matches them. This is one of my biggest pet peeves in Sims 4. Like, Sims 4 building is great. They did so many things right, but the color matching, please fix it, or give us more options or something, because yeah, it makes me angry and frustrated, and I get over it, because that's what you gotta do. You just gotta get over it. And yeah, putting up some decorations on the mantle here. On the other side, I don't know if you saw, but on the other side, I put these 2 glass mirrors above it. I thought that was pretty, actually a little modern, but I don't know. I'm standing still for some reason. I must be on my phone. There it goes. Yeah. I put that little suit of armor there because why not? Whoever's living here is rich anyways. They've got to be in order to get this house. Unless you just use Motherlode, then, whatever. You can buy whatever you want. Now, almost every single build I do has a study or a library. Oh yeah, those cute little window boxes. I love them so much. I wish I had a nice house that I could put window boxes on. They would probably end up looking like those ones, but not the red ones, the overgrown ones, which I put on the side because in my mind I was like, well, they don't really go over here, but they probably walk by this area with the veranda bit quite a lot, but they don't really care about the other ones on the side. There's trees covering it anyway, so, and here becomes the saving portion, but yeah, almost back to the study. I love studies. Like, if I had my own house, I have my own house, I do, but the house of my dreams has a 2-story study with floor-to-ceiling shelves, like those built-in bookshelves all along the walls. Like, you need a ladder, like, Beauty and the Beast, and there's that like saying that's like, buy a girl library or something like that. Yeah, that's me. Give me a library and I'm happy. I love them so much. I have so many books. I love reading. I love writing, everything about it. So, yeah, every build I have has some kind of library in it. And thinking about it now, I'm wondering if that was the only bookshelf I put in this house. Like, I'm sitting here raving about how much I love books, and I'm worried now that that's the only bookshelf I put in this house. And if it is, I'm sorry. Doing the bathroom now, the downstairs bathroom. This is the bathroom that your guests can go to and use and everything. I actually kind of had a hard time designing these bathrooms, again, because I felt very limited and with what I had to use. I love that mirror though. I think that was a good choice, but I kind of wish it was smaller, but with the tall walls, I think it makes sense. But I really just tried to decorate it, and I put that little, cabinet thing there, and I don't know if you can get in that room, because that's there, because the door is on the diagonal right there. And since I had move objects on, I don't know if you can. No, I didn't test it, did I? No, I didn't test it. Oh, well. I guess if they can't get in there, just delete that little thing in the corner. Maybe replace it with a plant. I'm sure a plant would be okay. Now we're doing the upstairs. Upstairs foyer, kind of thing. Like, or is that called a landing? I try to look cool with all these, little, technical terms that I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. So I did this long runner down that hallway just to try to fill up the hallway a little, because if you put any furniture in that hallway, I don't think your Sims are really going to be able to get by. But, you could try. Maybe one of those thin tables. But, yeah, I just put in that runner so that it would look a little bit better. Just going around decorating, I really wish we had more clutter items. But, yeah, you work with what you got. Oh yeah, I put those little boxes down there and I have no idea why. I was like, oh, these look old. I think that was like my running thought throughout this entire process was like, does it look old? Yes, put it in. That's horrible. But, I went back down into the kitchen and added a few little decorating things, a few little clutter items, and see there, that shield and sword, they look old, so they're going in the house. Yep. Just tried to clutter it up, because I feel like these type of houses are, just full of clutter, and not like a bad clutter, but like a what's a good word to describe this? It's like, I I don't know, when you say clutter, you automatically think bad, but that's not bad. It's a good clutter. It's a decorative clutter. That's horrible. I don't know. If you guys can think of something better, put it in the comments down below. And yeah. So working on, I think, just the one of the other bathrooms. This bathroom is going to be for all the other bedrooms. The master has its own bathroom. And I wanted to do this really cool, like, cabinetry system, because I feel like it would look better. It would look like that this bathroom has a lot of storage, which is nice. You know, I would want a bathroom with a lot of storage. I don't have a bathroom with a lot of storage, and it's annoying. In fact, my guest bathroom has more storage than my master bathroom. Can you believe that? Sucks. That's where we had to keep all the towels in the guest bathroom, but I don't ever have any guests, so it doesn't really matter. But so I put in, did I really leave that thing pink? I hope not. I don't know if pink looks good in here. Choosing lighting from here and changing out the lights. Went for those like top down ones. I really hope I didn't keep that. Oh, good, I didn't keep it pink. Yay. Putting little plants here and there. This is the nursery. It is right next to the master bedroom. So, yay, parents can get woken up by their kids fairly easily. Well, actually, if they're in a different room, I don't know if they'll get woken up or something. I don't know if that's the thing. See, I don't actually play, like, usually if I start a family in The Sims, I'll last maybe one generation before I get bored and go build something or start a new family. Like, I just don't have the attention span. Like, it's so monotonous, I guess. I tried to scale up that thing because I was like, oh, this could look like a little vintage buggy thing. I think that's what they're called in England, a buggy. Is that... I really hope I'm not offending anybody. But, I went for a more softer light. Try to get a soft light in there. And again, they look blue. They're not. They're beige. I don't understand it. Okay. Master bathroom and bedroom. I actually kind of really enjoy this. I wanted to do a thing where it was like the toilet and the shower were separate from the sink. I know that's like a pretty common thing, but it was actually really hard to figure out the layout, especially when I got in here, because I was like, I really want to do a dual, like I want two sinks, but I also want counter room. It's like, so how do I go about doing that? And I eventually just, the toilet and the bathtub combo shower thing, it's kind of lackluster in that room. Sorry. But this room with the sinks looks pretty, in my opinion. So, this part's horrible. I was trying to get under to view where I needed to put these lights. And the first one was fine, but trying to get that second one, that was a pain. But, put it up a couple of towels. See, now this is something that you can go in and change if you don't like it, but the door into where the sinks are, it's just an archway. It's not a door. Because I put the toilet and the bathtub in the other room, I didn't really feel that it was necessary to put another door. Like, that just looked like too much. And I thought about just leaving the door open, but then it just looked weird. So I just put an archway in, and that's how I solved that. Oh gosh, I'm insane for doing this build. This is such an extensive thing for my first video. Like, we're 34 minutes in. 34 and a half, 35 minutes in. And this video is like 43 minutes. And I think like a good 2 or 3 minutes of it is just screenshots. So, yeah. But I did a little flowery print on the wall with blue carpets in the master bedroom. Couple little, I just about said urn. Well, it could be an urn on the little dresser in there, but that's kind of creepy. I don't know, it's weird. A vase. There we go. A vase. I'll say a vase because I'll sound fancy if I do that. Now we're going out to the garden area, which is really simple, actually. I just put a little table, and then I found these little, I think you're actually supposed to get married under these, like your Sims can get married under these, and I thought they were kind of cool looking. It gave it that garden area a little bit more detailed, and I was going to put them on the other side too, but I thought that was too much. Put some little garden plots around there. Couple more benches and everything, and you know, we are almost done. So we have 2 more bedrooms to go, and I don't think I detail them too much. I mean, I make them interesting, but they're not too bad. You know, I really hope that you guys enjoy what I've built here. Oh, I love this though. Before I send you off, I made this little like makeshift desk, like built-in desk thing area. I thought it was so cool. I was like, man, why haven't I thought of that before? So I think of this being like a twin, like twins or something. Brother and sister can stay here. And actually, I think I replaced those side tables with chairs. But yeah, I put a nice little, and I didn't know these things. These are like in the shelves section. They're not bookcases. They're in the shelf section. And I hadn't ever noticed them before, and I had no idea why. I was like, these things are so cool. Yeah, here we go. I'm putting chairs here. I was kind of thinking, I kind of wish I would have put, a chess table or something there. Just putting some paintings on the wall, you know, detailing, and, I think this is the other bedroom. Yep, I just put, like, a normal bed. I don't go into much detail into this room, I don't think. I was getting pretty tired by this point. I was like, I'm so sick of this house. It makes me angry, but I love it because it's gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous. But, now the attic in this house is actually pretty interesting. It's something that I personally, because I watch a lot of YouTubers do it, YouTube, like, simmers and stuff like that. And I don't think I've seen anybody do this before in an attic, in a build like this. I'm probably wrong. In fact, I know I'm wrong. I can't be the first one that's doing this. But so I was like, what do I put in this room? Originally, I was just going to do like a little loft bedroom where it was like, you know, your grandparents live up here when you're tired of them. So I, you know, started with a TV and put a bed and everything. And then I was like, no, wait a second. It's an attic. What do you put in the attic when you're Victorian? You put all your junk. So I just threw a ton of crap up here. And, you know, I kind of wish I had sheets to just throw on everything. Because that's what they do when they put stuff in the attic in Victorian manors. They just throw a sheet over it, you know, and call it good. But, you know, there's no sheets in this one. So I just tossed, like, a ton of things up here. And, you know, I still tried to make it look like it was, like, quote-unquote rich things, you know, but, you know, and I put that dollhouse up there because I was like, that's something you would find in a Victorian manor, like, yeah, threw a bunch of, you know, a couple bar stools and just kind of scattered all this stuff up here. And then in that side room, I do a like just a very minimalistic bathroom. Because I feel like at one point, this would have been a functioning, like somebody would have lived up here. Like this would have been a bedroom. But now it's just the attic. We're coming to a close here. So I just want to say thank you for clicking on the video. I really hope you enjoyed watching me build this. I would love to hear any kind of suggestions you have for future builds. You know, building is something that I really love doing, and I thought, you know, why not share it with you guys? So I hope you like it. We're about to get into the screenshots now. There's a lot of them, so There's a link in the description below where you can download it. You can find me on the gallery, the Assimilator 1, because there was already the Assimilator, so make sure to add 1 at the end of it. Enjoy the screenshots. Have a great day, guys, and thanks for watching.